family, this is Victoria. Welcome back to my channel. I share prophetic words, share messages, and help encourage you in your walk with the Father and your journey. So if you're new to this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm just gonna hop right into this video. So this video is called Fear of Man or Fear of Yahuwah. Fear of man or fear of Yahuwah. Okay, so let's just hop right into it. So for those of you that are becoming awakened into the truth and you're afraid of what your friends and family and loved ones will say or think of you, or just in general to where you're afraid what your friends and family or loved ones think of you when it comes to making certain decisions or just your reputation. Okay, so fear of men depicted as hindrance to faith and obedience to Yah. So refers to the anxiety or apprehension one feels about the opinion, actions, or potential harm from another person. This fear can lead individuals to compromise their belief, disobey Yah's commands, or prioritize human approval over divine approval. Okay? So I have Proverbs 29:25. The fear of man brings a snare, but whoever trusts in Yahuwah shall be safe. Okay? So let me bring up the definition of a snare. Snare means to entangle, to bring into unexpected evil, perplexity, or danger. A figurative trap or deception, temptation, or hidden danger that leads to spiritual or physical ruin. Okay? So the fear of man brings snare, but whoever trusts in Yahuwah shall be safe. So the fear of man can lead to actions that are contrary to Yahuwah's will. Okay? Just be careful. Just be careful, okay? So I have 1 Samuel 15:24. I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of Yahuwah in your words, because I have feared the people and obeyed their voice. This is Saul talking to Samuel, and he's saying he feared the people and obeyed their voice instead of Yah's voice. Okay, so this caused the throne of Israel, and he ended up giving the throne to David. Okay, so regardless of how you feel towards other people, depending on decision and whatnot, you should do it according to Yah's word and what Yah wants you to do, not according to what others want you to do. Okay? Alright, so I have Isaiah 51:12. I, even I, am he who comforts you. Who are you that you shall be afraid of a man who will die, and the son of man who will be made like grass? Okay, so this reminds us of Yah's comforting presence and the insignificance of human opinions compared to Yahuwah's power. So whoever trusts in Yahuwah, we shall be safe, right? So he brings us comfort to our hearts, all right? And a sound, peaceful mind, okay? So I have Matthew 10:28. And do not fear those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. I'd rather choose to fear the Father. Okay? I'd rather stand up for what's right and speak up for what's right. Okay? Alright, so yes, it says prioritizing our fear of Yahuwah over fear of man. So we got to make sure we're prioritizing our fear of Yahuwah than fear of man. So regardless of what anybody thinks about you, it doesn't matter, because if you're standing up for what's right and you're being bold and confident in Yahuwah, right? So I have Galatians 1:10. For do I now persuade men or Yahuwah, or do I seek to please men? For if I still please men, I will not be a bondservant of Yahusha. Exactly what it says. He said if he still pleases man, then he will not be a bondservant of Yahusha. So just because somebody wants you to do something and it's your spouse or children, doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Doesn't mean it's okay to enable them, and it doesn't mean to spoil your children, right? Just, you have to make sure and stand up for what's right and serve Yah at the end of the day. So this verse challenges us to consider whose approval we seek in our lives. Are we going to seek our family's approval, or are we going to seek Yahuwah's approval? Okay? So I have 1 Thessalonians 2:4. But as we have been approved by Yah to be entrusted with the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but Yahuwah, who tests our hearts, should be pleasing Yah rather than succumbing to the fear of human judgment. Exactly what it says, family. Succumbing means to yield to overpowering temptation or evil, leading to spiritual failure or defeat, as opposed to resisting and persevering in Yah's will. Okay? You have to be able to learn how to fight in the spiritual realm. The fear of man can hinder our faith and lead to compromises in our beliefs. When we focus on Yah's approval rather than human opinions, we can overcome the fear that holds us back from fulfilling our purpose. So the fear of man can trap us, but trusting in Yahuwah leads to safety and peace. So focusing on Yahuwah's promise and his power, we can find the courage to face our fears and live boldly in faith. Okay? I'm gonna pull up scriptures, fear of Yahuwah. Okay? So I have Proverbs 9:10. The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. So the fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. All right? So I have Proverbs 1:7. The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Don't be a fool. You don't want that. So Proverbs 14:26. In the fear of Yahuwah there is strong confidence, and his children will have a place of refuge. Okay? So it is a different fear between having fear of what others say or think about you, and then the fear of Yahuwah. Okay? So when you have fear of Yahuwah and you're walking uprightly, you have the confidence in him. Okay? And we will have a place of refuge. So Proverbs 19:23. So the fear of Yahuwah leads to life, and he who has it will abide in sanctification, and he will not be visited with evil. All right? So I'd rather have fear of Yahuwah than fear of man. It leads to life, and who has it will abide in sanctification, and he will not be visited with evil. Come on now. Okay, let me explain this. So, not a feeling of dread, but deep abiding reverence of Yah, which is the foundation of wisdom and life and peace, encouraging believers to live in accordance with Yahuwah's will and to seek his guidance in all aspects of life. Okay, that is beautiful right there. That is the good news. So the fear of Yahuwah leads to wisdom, freedom, and deeper relationship with our Creator. Hallelujah. So I have Proverbs 15:33. The fear of Yahuwah is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. Okay? So I have John 4:18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear involves torment. Let me read that again. Fear involves torment, but he who fears has not been made perfect in love. So you mean to tell me there's no fear in perfect love? It casts out all fear, and that fear involves torment, and he who fears has not been made perfect in love. So family, if you find yourself uneasy about a situation or fearful about a situation or decision, you got to check your heart posture, take it to the Father, and allow him to help you through that situation. Okay? Walk in love. Psalm 118:16. Yahuwah is on my side. I will not fear. What can a man do to me? All right? Proverbs 22:4. By humility and the fear of Yahuwah are riches and honor and life. Come on. By humility, the fear of Yahuwah are riches, honor, and life. That is beautiful. Okay? Psalm 67:7. Yah shall bless us, and all the ends of the earth shall fear him. He said what? He said all the ends of the earth shall fear him. Okay? So that is a natural fear. When we come into the fear of Yahuwah, it is the beginning of wisdom. That is a natural fear that we should be feeling towards him. Okay? That brings us closer to him. Right? So I have Proverbs 15:16. Better is a little, see, better is a little with the fear of Yahuwah than great treasure with trouble. So better is a little with the fear of Yahuwah. So he's saying it is better to have fear of Yahuwah than to not have fear at all, because then great treasure with trouble. So if you don't have fear at all and you live in the way you live in, and you sin in however you want to sin, there's going to be a treasure with great trouble upon you. So which one would you rather have? So I have Psalms 103:13. As a father pities his children, so Yahuwah pities those who fear him. Okay, so pities refers to the expression of compassion, mercy, and sympathy towards others. It often describes Yahuwah's compassion nature towards humanity and the expected behavior of believers towards one another. For instance, carries this idea of feeling pity, showing compassion, and an active choice to spare someone or something from harm. Okay? So it's just like when you have your own children and you're disciplining your children, you're telling your children don't do something and they do it anyway, so you give them a whooping or you put them in timeout. Same thing with the Father. If you know something you doing isn't right, and he's telling you to do something that you need to do and to be obedient to it, he's gonna chastise you just as much as he would chastise all his children, all his children that he loves. Okay, he loves you, but that fear is a righteous fear towards him. Ecclesiastes 12:13-14. So let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahuwah and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. The what? The whole duty of man. For Yah will bring every work into judgment, including every secret thing, whether good or evil. Okay, so every man on this earth should fear Yahuwah, right? Because he is our creator, he is our father, and he is in charge of everything. And we should be keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, all right? Because it is the whole duty of man. So no matter what we do, we're going to be judged on every work, even if it's good or bad, or things that are done secretly. So what's done in the dark will eventually come to light. Okay? So you might as well come to the Father and confess your sins, ask for forgiveness, and change from sin and change from wicked ways. Okay? Okay, family, that's it for this video. This was a quick word. Don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe. Take this word back to the Father, and I hope this word encourage you and bless you in your journey. Thank you for watching. I love you, and most importantly, the Father loves you. I'll see you next time. Mwah.